Hey there, welcome back. We got a fresh crack today. Everybody's been wanting to try this, and we got our hands on a bottle. Stay tuned. Ready?
Yes.
Weak. Still,
Bet the juice is better.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bald eagles flying out of here right now anyway.
That's right.
All right, welcome back. High Proof Low IQ, I'm Gordon.
I'm the other guy named Scott.
Scott. All right, so today, as promised, we're doing a fresh crack of the Elijah Craig 15, which is much anticipated. I'm hoping I'm going to like it better than the Elijah Craig 18, which is a single barrel. This is also a single barrel, but the 18 is at 90 proof, and because it's 18 years old, it's really, really oaky, and it's also a low proof, so neither one of us really like it all that much. Anyway, this one's going to be 108 proof, so
I will say, everybody loves a fresh crack.
fresh crack.
Much better than an unfresh crack.
There you go. So obviously you saw us uncrack this or uncork this here. So these are the neck pours, and put these covers on because we're outside here.
I'm going to rinse my palate.
Southeast Tennessee, and I live in the woods, and so there's all kinds of debris falling out of the trees right now in the springtime, and so gotta cover everything up. So, all right. Anything you want to say about this guy?
Typically people think 18 years, the higher the age statement, maybe the cooler bottle. But you can get a little wrong with high age statements if you don't watch out, because you can get too oaky with them, just really not as good as we would think they should be. So 15 may be really good, better than the 18. 18 might be better. For me, I like the fact that they high proofed it versus the 90 for the 18. The 18 is generally considered a little more oaky. I would say if they took that proof and put it on the 18, might be kind of cool, but also they're dealing with barrels that are probably a little lower yield at 18 years than 15. So
I would say that's probably a big reason why they proof it down to 90.
Yep.
Okay, this came with a little bit of literature on this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and read this. It's got a what's that? Literature. I have to put my pinky out if I say it like that.
Yep.
All right, aged to perfection for 15 years. This rare release embodies the legacy of Elijah Craig. Patiently crafted in charred oak barrels, it stands as true testament to time, tradition, and craftsmanship. Revered as the father of bourbon, Elijah Craig's pioneering spirit endures in every bottle, making this an expression of history as much as whiskey. Elijah Craig, commonly thought of as the father of bourbon, although there are a lot of people that people point to as the father of bourbon, but I think it's widely believed that he's the first person that charred the inside of the barrels. That may or may not be true, but that's what we're going with today. So
it is interesting. One more thing, and then we'll dive into this. You got Heaven Hill, which just put out the 250th birthday bottle of their Evan Williams single barrel vintage.
I've got a bottle of that.
Versus the 86 proof Evan Williams single barrel vintage. And of course, they just dropped this Elijah Craig 15 year at 108 proof versus the 18 at 90 proof. So two bottles against some bottles that have been around. 18 year not as easy to find as the single barrel vintage 86. But just, I think it's interesting they've just recently dropped those to the market this year, and be interesting to try those against each other.
All right. And if you're still with us, thank you very much. Right now, we're going to get into this.
Did I bore them?
This is, no, not because of that. Hey, while you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe our channel. We really, really, really need the subscribers, so I'm just begging you, okay? All right, so this guy right here, we we knew it was coming out for a long time. It finally hit our area, and we both ran out and got a bottle of it. I have tried Scott's. This is fresh crack for me, but he just doesn't have. We're at my house, so we're doing my bottle. All right, so this is for you, our favorite viewer.
That's right. All tens and tens of you.
So this one is going out especially for you. All right. All right. So on the nose,
Sweet nose.
yeah, it's sweet. It's it's kind of fruity.
Yep. Fruity and sweet.
It's not cherries like. So typically, when you talk about cherries, that's going to be Buffalo Trace products. They have a real cherry note to them. This one I think is more like a real ripe plum, maybe. To me,
Yeah, sweeter, and the cherry being more the fruitiness of it, I guess.
yeah. All right.
I get cherry candy on certain things, and Buffalo Trace is very, for me, pronounced in that. I don't get this kind of cherry candy on the nose as much. It goes more to what he's talking about.
All right. I did get a little bit of oak on this.
I do too. I think you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
You should at 15 years. I mean, it's gonna be there. It needs to be there. That's part of a great profile, is having a little bit of oak, as long as it's just not overdone. And after 15 years, it's got to be there.
Yeah, and they did proof this down to 108 proof.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I don't know what it comes
cast
out.
strength.
I don't know what comes out of the barrel at, but it's definitely going to be it's proof down. And I don't know if it's because it's the right proof or just because they wanted to get it down to a proof where it was good or whatever.
Met their numbers for the yield.
Yeah,
Made their numbers for the yield work
made their
better.
numbers.
All right, I'm going in. Are
Let's
you
do
going
it.
in?
Let's
I'm
do it.
going
Let's
in.
do it. Got stuff falling out of the trees.
Well, that's just because this blew my mind.
This is really
Blew
good.
my mind, and it went up and hit a limb and knocked the limb out of the tree.
This is really, really
Man,
good.
that's good.
I
God, it's good. And a really, really good proof.
all right. You talk for a little bit. I'm gonna go in and get the 18, and we're gonna try that.
Okay, so I think at 108 it drinks. I think it pretty much drinks about at its proof, and it's a slow burn. It's not anything that's over the top. It doesn't kick you in the face. It is so much more flavorful and full at 108 than the 90 that I remember on the 18 year. He's got a bottle that he's about to bring around that we're going to try, and I'm going to try to not get sauced because I have to go on a little road trip later with my wife to see my son and daughter-in-law. That's not good fatherdom. Is that a word?
Just remember that make her drive.
Yes,
All
that's
right.
right.
I'm gonna let you give yourself a splash of this.
Yeah, I'm not going to go heavy on my pour. Honestly, when you poured these, I thought, wow. But
Well, if you don't finish it, I will. So,
I know that's true.
All right. So
I'm still enjoying.
obviously
this.
we've got the 15 and the 18, and this is what we're gonna call a juxtaposition, which means we're gonna compare opposites. And it's not really opposite, but that's not what we're going to do.
I've got one at home that's bottled in 19, I think December of 19. This says it was bottled in August of the Double Deuce year, 22.
22, okay. And I've got a couple of these. Sometimes when I see them at what I think is a reasonable price, I'll go ahead and buy one. And but I think because this is out now, and hopefully it'll be something that's on the shelf, fairly often, or at least once a year. This is going to be my next thing that I spend a little dough on. I'm going to pass on the 18s from now on, I think.
Based on what I've tried and based on that versus the 18, I mean, I don't, and I'm about to go in and we're going to try it again here, but I already have a preconceived notion based on what I know about these that the 18 ain't going to touch the 15.
All right, and you can't see this probably, but the color is very different. The color on The 18 is much lighter, obviously.
which is interesting. But it is because it's proof down to 90, I think.
Yeah.
Not because obviously you would think an 18 year is going to be darker than a 15 year. But I think that's where the proofing it down to 90 proof comes in. There's a lot more water in it than there is on the 108 15.
And the nose is very different. Now these are all single barrels, so they're gonna vary some, and maybe sometimes wildly. So I think that is neither here nor there, that the nose is different.
See,
but the nose is much more pronounced.
I think the 18 has even though it's proof down to 90 proof, I think you get more oak on the nose on the 18 than you do on the 15, which is crazy. Yeah.
And on this one,
it's
I get
a balance, I guess.
Yeah, on the 18, I get a little bit of cola, maybe on the nose.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that's what I'm thinking that is. I'm gonna go ahead and try.
I get a little.
And it's not bad. It's good. It's very oaky. That's the predominant flavor I'm getting is
I get a little
oak.
weird slight hint, and I say a slight, like as in a speck of dust hint of mint.
Mint?
And I don't know why. Could be the mint gum I chewed 2 hours ago.
It might be,
but I doubt it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's not a bad pour.
It's very oaky though.
The problem is, it's not a bad pour. The problem is, for the money you're going to spend and the time you're going to look for this 18, you're going to spend no more than for the 15. Well, I guess if you can find it in a store somewhere.
Yeah.
And but they're both going to be harder to find bottles. But if you're going to spend the money on this, you might as well find this and spend the money on this and just not.
Yeah, I'd have
Sorry,
to say.
Heaven Hill, that's just the way it is.
I happen to agree. Now I know there's some fans of the 18 out there, and no shade, everybody likes whatever they like, and it is what it is. But I'm gonna say for me, and I think I can speak for Scott too, I prefer this one.
Yeah, that's a bomb to me. Not a bomb in a bad way. The bomb is it's a flavor bomb.
Yeah.
It's not overproof. To me, I think I said while he was looking for a bottle a little while ago, it drinks about right proof-wise of what it is. It's not crazy hot, but you can tell it's north of 100 proof. And it has a really good finish to it, and then a really good hug on it. So
It does. I think this is a really good proof for this, and I think Scott and I both really like bottled in bonds, which are 100 proof, and we generally like higher proof stuff. But I think for both of us, unless you're talking about something really, really unicornish, about 110 proof is like a pretty good sweet spot. 110, 115, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take a few proof points. And as far as age goes, generally I like 6 to 8 year old stuff. That's generally what I like. There are exceptions to that, obviously, but
there's a lot of things floating around right now that are in the 6 year, 5, 6, 7 year range, and so you have to find if you like higher ages than that, you have to find something right now for a lot of brands that are lower age stated than you normally like, and there's a lot of good stuff in that 6, 7, 8 year range. I like about 8 to 10, 8 to 12 is kind of where I look at. But there's so much good stuff out there still at 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, like you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I got no complaints. This right here is, I don't remember what I paid for this exactly. I can look at the receipt. If I find it, I'll put it in on the screen somewhere. But I want to say it was about right about 150, right, give or take.
This is now, I've got vanilla on this. And I'll say kind of a little bit of a Coke float with vanilla ice cream on top.
You know what? That I was struggling to think of a flavor note, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
A lot of people out there may not know what that is because I don't think those are served that prominently anymore. But
no, I mean, so if you're kind of
if you're old like us,
if you're old, or if you're on a budget, maybe you can't afford a root beer, but you can afford the store brand, the Walmart brand cola. This will be what you put what you put over your ice cream, over your vanilla ice cream, make a float, not a root beer float,
Coke float.
but a Coke float, which is, it's the same principle, it just tastes different.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan too. I think that's a thumbs up for both of us.
It's definitely.
If you see this in your area and it's in your price range, I recommend you go get one. Really.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy and overpay for it, but then again, I'm also cheap, so I try not to overpay for a lot of stuff. But I think if you're gonna save up a little money and want a really good bottle, I don't know if this is bourbon of the year. It's still early in the year, but I think it could be a top 5, top 10 bourbon for the year, depending on what else we see that comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we drop a video. And we thank you for watching. We really do. If you've made it this far, please subscribe.
That's right. We need more tens of subscribers.
All right, excellent. Until next time,
We're going to drink this.
we're going to drink this.
Cheers.
Drink up.
Drink up.